Have you ever stopped to question the way we perceive anxiety? It's a question that many of us seldom ask. In our fast-paced world, anxiety is often painted as a malevolent force, a crippling emotion that holds us back from reaching our full potential. It's seen as something to be fought against, something to be eradicated. But what if we told you there's another side to this coin? Anxiety, believe it or not, is a natural part of the human experience. It's a primal response designed to keep us safe from harm, to alert us of potential dangers lurking around the corner. In the right context, it can even propel us forward, serving as a catalyst for change and growth. So, rather than viewing this instinctual response as an adversary, let's shift our perspective. Anxiety doesn't have to be a villain. So, let's move away from the notion of anxiety as a foe and start to consider, could it possibly be a friend in disguise? Welcome, dear friend, to your journey towards serenity and tranquility. My name is Lorraine, and it is my goal to help you explore ways to reduce stress and relieve anxiety. To shift our perspective, we first need to understand what anxiety truly is. At its core, anxiety is a natural response, a part of our survival instincts. It's the body's alarm system, alerting us to danger or potential threats. Now imagine you're strolling in a forest and you spot a bear. Your heart starts pounding, your palms get sweaty, and you're suddenly hyper-aware of everything around you. This is anxiety, and in this scenario, it's quite helpful. It's preparing your body to either fight the bear or make a run for it. This reaction is driven by a part of your brain called the amygdala, a tiny structure responsible for emotions, survival instincts, and memory. When the amygdala perceives a threat, it sends a distress signal to another part of your brain, the hypothalamus. This control center communicates the message to the rest of your body through the nervous system, preparing you for action. However, our modern world is a far cry from the forests our ancestors roamed. We no longer face physical threats like bear attacks on a daily basis. Instead, we face psychological threats like work stress, financial worries, or relationship troubles. Yet, our brain responds in the same way, with anxiety. The same mechanism that once helped us dodge predators now kicks in when we're running late for a meeting or worrying about a looming deadline. This is why something as mundane as an overflowing inbox can make your heart pound as if you were facing a bear. Anxiety becomes problematic when this alarm system is triggered too easily or too often. This can lead to feelings of constant worry, unease, and fear, even when there's no immediate threat. But remember, this doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It's simply your brain's way of keeping you safe. In essence, anxiety is a natural and necessary part of our survival instincts. It's not a sign of weakness or a defect. It's a sign that your body is doing what it's supposed to do, protecting you. With this understanding, we can start to see anxiety not as a malfunction, but a function of our survival instinct. Managing anxiety. Knowing what anxiety is, we can now learn how to manage it. Anxiety can feel like an unwelcome guest, but remember, it's a natural reaction to stressors in our life. It's not a sign of weakness or something that needs to be fixed. Rather, it's a signal that we need to pay attention to. So how do we manage it? One way is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, observing your feelings and thoughts without judgment. It's like sitting on the bank of a river, watching your thoughts float by like leaves on the water. You're not trying to stop them or change them, you're just noticing them. This practice can help you realize that you are not your thoughts or feelings. They are temporary and they will pass. Another tool in our anxiety management kit is deep breathing. When anxiety strikes, our breathing can become quick and shallow, which can increase feelings of fear and stress. Deep breathing can help to reverse this response. Try taking slow, deep breaths in through your nose, hold for a moment, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. This simple technique can help to calm your nervous system and bring you back to a state of equilibrium. Cognitive restructuring is another effective tool. This involves identifying and challenging thoughts that are causing anxiety. For example, if you're anxious about a presentation at work, you might be thinking, I'm going to mess up and everyone will laugh at me. Cognitive restructuring would involve challenging this thought, perhaps by reminding yourself that you've done well in the past, or that everyone makes mistakes and it's not the end of the world. These are just a few of the many tools available to manage anxiety. They're not magic fixes, but they can help you navigate through the waves of anxiety. It's about learning to ride the wave rather than trying to stop it. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate anxiety, but to manage it. Like a seasoned sailor navigating the high seas, you can learn to manage the tides of anxiety and use them to steer towards personal growth and resilience. So how can we shift our perception and make anxiety work for us? This question ushers us into the fascinating concept of anxiety reappraisal. It's about learning to see anxiety not as an adversary but as an ally. Anxiety is like a vigilant sentinel, always on guard, ready to alert us to potential dangers and challenges. It's the prickling sensation at the back of your neck that tells you something's amiss. It's the fluttering in your stomach that nudges you to double-check your work. It's the pounding in your chest that propels you to prepare, to rehearse, to strive for excellence. Picture this. You have a big presentation coming up. The thought of standing in front of a crowd makes you anxious. But instead of seeing this anxiety as a sign of impending doom, what if we reframe it? What if we see this anxiety as a sign that we care about doing well, that we want to be prepared, that we are fully engaged and invested in our performance? This is the power of anxiety reappraisal. It allows us to harness the energy of anxiety and channel it into preparation and performance. It transforms anxiety from a roadblock into a stepping stone, from a hindrance into a motivator. Anxiety also has a way of shining a spotlight on things that matter most to us. If you're anxious about a job interview, it's probably because that job means a lot to you. If you're anxious about a first date, it's likely because you're hopeful about the potential relationship. In this way, anxiety can serve as a compass, pointing us towards what truly matters in our lives. As we learn to view anxiety through this new lens, we empower ourselves to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. We start to see that anxiety, when properly understood and managed, isn't something to be feared or avoided. It's a part of our human experience, a tool we can use to help us live more fully, more courageously, more authentically. And that, my friends, is a perspective worth adopting. Peace, y'all.